So, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Today, I'm basically with my son all day long. My fiance is at work, and then afterwards, he goes to school. Happy for him when it comes to education. But yeah, it's going to be a lonely day. So, I decided let's just make a video and then talk about Valentine's Day and my life, when it comes to Valentine's Day. Honestly, I've never liked Valentine's Day. I've never had like a normal Valentine's Day week, you know, or day. And if it was a good day, it would just end up just horribly wrong with whoever I was dating at the time. So I have a few stories, mostly negative. I'm sorry for you people that love positive videos, but that ain't happening today. So if you don't want to watch it, click off. It's cool. Don't care. So let's start from like the beginning of like elementary school. You know those little cards they used to give you and all that stuff. I never got them, and it would make me so sad as a little girl when I didn't get any cards from anybody because everybody was friends. I was a shy girl, and I would come home just like super sad, and I guess my mom would feel bad. And even like in middle school, my mom would feel bad, and she would like come and give me like roses, and I remember she would buy me a balloon, and that made me a little bit better, but I still always felt like a loser. And then in middle school, I remember vividly. This was, I think, sixth grade, and this was Little Havana, and I used to get bullied a lot, mainly because we would wear uniforms, and it was just this ugly uniform. It was like red polo, and like either it was like khaki pants or khaki shorts. I think you weren't able to use pants for some reason, so I was like forced to wear shorts. And what I hated about that is that my mom made shorts because we were pretty poor, I guess, back then, and the uniforms were like way too expensive. So my mom ended up making me shorts. Why, mom? Why? The thing with these shorts is that you could see like the part of the shorts, like the tela, I don't know how to say, like part of like the little parts of the shorts come out on the side, and you could tell that they were made shorts. Like you could tell that they were homemade. It was embarrassing, and then it was also embarrassing that people would make fun of me because of my leg braces. So it would show, and then that's when I realized that people would bully me because of the way I walked, and then the freaking leg braces. And so I felt uncomfortable and like super insecure. So I remember this teacher was like, "Oh, write something for each classmate, something good about them, put them in like a little bag, and then give it to them." So it was Valentine's Day, and I was like so excited that I was gonna get compliments or a bunch of hearts. So I opened the bag. This is the first little heart thing that I read. Someone wrote, and it was anonymous, obviously. Someone wrote, "Nice shorts." And then I started thinking, I was like, are they being serious or thing? And then I saw two kids in the back of the room staring at me, and they just started cracking up. And I think there were two of the people that were like bullying me or something like that, or just talking shit. And then I reread it, "Nice shorts" again, and I was like, oh, they're making fun of me. And it made me feel so bad because as a little girl, what are you, like 11, 12? You want to read something, like a compliment, and I wasn't used to that type of stuff. And I felt so sad, and I didn't even want to read the rest at all. So I just put that shit back in the bag and just left it there. I didn't read like all the other stuff, and to this day I don't know what that shit says. I probably had some compliments. It probably would have made me feel better, but I still remember that day, and that Valentine's Day sucked. Another Valentine's that I remember, it was like a few years ago. This guy, he was a break dancer, and I've always liked dancers. I'm very attracted to people that can dance, or a person that mentions that they dance. I've always been attracted to that because I like to dance. I'm Colombian American. I was, raised to dance. So this guy was a break dancer. Super nice guy. He went to my job, and he came to visit me. He knew that I was going to be busy, until like 2 p.m., whatever. And I think I had a late shift that day, and that's why we couldn't hang out. So he left because he was waiting for me to get out, like for lunch or something, and I felt really bad. He came back I guess he went to Trader Joe's. He came back with like flowers and cookies, and I was like so surprised because no one has ever done that for me, at my workplace. So obviously, all the other girls were just staring at me and smiling at me and like, oh my gosh, he's so sweet, blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, that was pretty sweet. Whatever. I was happy that day, blah 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 blah. I guess a couple days after, I told him to meet me up at the college because I had to study for some math or whatever, and he was doing homework for his music because I guess he was going to school for music. And mind you, I thought he was cool with it. We're hanging out, whatever. He's like, okay, cool. We hung out like for 30 minutes, and then I was like, okay. I don't know what happened, but I guess we parted ways or something, or he said that he had to go. When I went to class or whatever, he just went off through text saying, oh, are we gonna like spend time in a library and not talk and whatever. So he basically didn't know how to communicate, and he wanted to spend time with me outside of just like studying. I thought it was just a good idea, study together, do homework together, but he wanted to spend time outside of school, but he should have just told me that. So I don't know, I felt like he was like very disrespectful, because he was very being sarcastic about it, like, oh, are we gonna go study again and not talk, and blah blah. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with this shit. So I ghosted him, and well, not basically ghosted him, but I was like, you know what, this shit is not gonna work out. I don't like the disrespect, blah blah blah. That ended. That was another sucky Valentine's Day. Another one that was like the worst of the worst was, I remember, with an ex. I'm not gonna say names, mention his race or anything, but this was back when I used to live in Colorado. If you know that and the relationship that I was in, then you probably know. So this was a guy that was very controlling. It was always about him. And I was really young, but at this point I was getting fed up with his shit. And that whole Valentine's Day, he was on the phone the whole time with his family. It was his cousin, then his other cousin, and I was just sitting around like waiting for him to like take me out. Mind you, he didn't do anything the whole day but just be on the phone and play video games. It was like 7-8 o'clock, and then he calls his mom. If it kind of felt, and it was, that I was the last option in the list, because he did it right in front of my face, and I didn't have anything. I didn't have any like card or anything. Mind you, I'm young. I was like 23, 24, and it was a serious relationship, super serious. And so he talks to his mom for another fucking hour of 8 hours that he's been talking on the phone, maybe 5, 6, whatever. And then he's like, here, talk to my mom. And at this point, I'm angry because, we haven't gone out. He hasn't planned anything out. I had a lot of expectations at that point, in our relationship, because he was in the military. I wasn't able to see him most of the time. He was always gone, and just a bunch of stuff in the relationship that at the end of the day didn't work out. So I hung up on his mom, and he just went off. And I think he was drunk at this point. He started drinking at that point in our relationship, like a lot. He always got drunk. And that day, he just, went off. He's like, how could you hang up on my mom? That's it. The damage is done, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, are you serious? Like, you're talking on the phone the whole day with your family, and, you have no nice gesture. Like, we don't go out, nothing. So he's like, oh yeah, I don't have no nice gesture. He goes up the stairs, comes back. He has roses. He gets the roses, and I don't know what else he had. He had roses. He threw them out the backyard. He just threw that shit. He broke them into pieces and threw them out. And I was like, wow, that shit is crazy. Like, looking back on it now, it's like he was very emotionally abusive, because how do you put your girl, your wife, the last place when it comes to Valentine's Day, especially, being in the military and not seeing them, that's a very toxic relationship, obviously. And, those memories just always comes back, like, during Valentine's Day. So today, Valentine's Day, and I have to make the best out of it. I gave my son, yesterday I hung out with my parents, so I gave my mom some flowers, and I bought my son like a little Mickey Mouse that dances and, sings, and it's super cute. So I feel so good giving my son something. He's my Valentine's Day. Obviously, my fiance is Valentine's. So we're gonna like spend Valentine's Day like either tomorrow or the weekend, whatever. There's still time. I'm cool about it. V Day is very, it's either good for you, like it's great when you're in a relationship, or it makes you sad. And I don't like that. Valentine's Day is either a really really good day for you or a really sucky day. Some people don't even go online because they don't want to see the mushy stuff. It's just crazy. It really messes up with people's emotions. I wish there was better Valentine's Days that I could remember, but no, there's none. It's just no, not there for Joey. But I'm a grown ass woman, and that's how life happens. I have my son. My son is the greatest thing. My heart, my soul. He's just great, and I love that kid. So, just seeing his smile makes my day 10 times better, and just being with him. So that's that. Do you have any crazy V-Day stories? Because I'm pretty sure there's some out there. Like, I want to know. Probably gonna YouTube that's like as well, like crazy YouTube Valentine's Day stories. But that's that. I've been watching Shane Dawson's videos. He's such a great journalist. You watch Shane Dawson. I'm gonna go for a walk later, and with my baby, my son, and enjoy the day. Really, that's that. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great weekend. Bye, guys.